What's up, Butters? What's up, my guy? Huge shout out to everybody else. Mostly going to do sports. Haven't been doing streams lately. Kind of been doing some other stuff. So far the other job interview went pretty well. So I'll find out by Monday or Tuesday whether I get this new position or not. So I'll let things play out itself. So no introduction. We're gonna have another special guest coming up soon. I think he'll be on his way pretty soon. But I already sent him the link. I was kind of like waiting for him to at least try to like get to the stream, but he's kind of been busy, so things happen. And he just inboxed me, hit me up, and he just wanted to go on the stream for a little bit too. So all right, I'll send you the link too, but it's got to be sports related, none of that trash talk stuff. Because if I'm going to let anybody in, you guys got to interact sports with this guy, and I don't think he likes that trash talk stuff. So you got to keep it sports related. Yeah, what's good, bro? Yeah, I'll let you guys all in. I mean, if you guys keep it all sports related with all that stuff, then we're good. But other than that, man, I'm not trying to bring in no trash talk, none of that content stuff over here. So it's kind of been kind of a difficult time. So just keep my prayers with my stepdad, because he's kind of like going through some issues, and I guess he's been hospitalized and nothing kind of going well yet. So we'll see. But at the meantime, just going to keep stuff in the positive mindset and keep it 100, So that's why I just haven't been on shit lately, because a lot of issues. But I'm back, so everything looks kind of fine. But what's good? All right, if you guys want to go into the stream, inbox me, and I'll send it in. Man, what's going on today? It's kind of like I'm having a little difficulty with some shit going on. Looks like the new job might be pretty interesting that I'll check out, so we'll wait and see. All right, I'll send you guys the Instagram and all that. I'll see what's up. I'll send you guys the link. Hold on a minute. I'll just bring in some other people along, see if they all want to go in. Let me see if the other guy would want to go in. Maybe he'll jump in out of the blue. I don't know. Let's see. I'll bring him in. Let's see. I don't know anybody else. All right. I send you guys links. I don't know if I just want to make sure we all keep it sports related. So, like, if you guys don't agree or disagree with another fan base, I don't want it to come down to that way, but gotta keep it related. I know everybody has their own opinions, so it's fine to do it that way. But just make sure to keep your opinion to yourself and don't get all harsh with one another, Just keep 100. So what's up, man?
Yeah, what's good? I haven't been here in a while, and you can see I already have the thumbnail.
Hey, the thumbnail. What is that? The Butters with the sword? Yeah, dude. I've been kind of super busy with a lot of my schedule, and plus the boss cut me off my hours, and I've been kind of looking for another job. So a lot of shit's been going on.
No, it's not sword. It's actually Thor's hammer.
Oh, Thor's hammer. Oh, there you go. I thought it was like one of those imaginations.
Like if you can look at the thumbnail closely and you see like lightning, it thought would be obvious. Because I haven't seen a sword with lightning.
Oh yeah, so that's like that Thor. It's like Butters being Thor. Okay, I get that part. Yeah. What's up, 19s? I don't know. I sent a link to CEO. I sent a link to that Texans fan and Alex Prime Sports. If he's got me on Instagram, I'll send him the link. But
CEO I'm not trying. CEO Curly Kane.
Come on, man! Stop with that Kane gimmick shit. What is it? The Daniel Bryan, like you're Daniel Bryan and you're telling me he's Kane. Okay. But isn't he a Hall of Famer now?
Yeah.
And isn't he the mayor of Knoxville?
Yeah, but Kane is still like one of those longtime fair wrestlers.
Yeah, and he's got one of the best gimmicks in professional wrestling. I mean, I think his gimmick outlasted.
I don't see anything wrong. I mean, we could have been brothers of destruction, but I'm not really a brother of destruction. That's more of CEO.
Yeah, dude. So you're looking forward to the draft, man? It's coming up in like less than a week. So
All right, but I want to explain why I'm not going to be uploading for a week because YouTube, I woke up with an email, so I went to go check on my email, and they said, "Oh, we took your video down because of harassment and cyberbullying." And I'm just
what?
sitting back. It was one of my videos I did, and I'm not gonna say like what video is because I know you try to keep it, but all I'm gonna say is this: out of all the stuff I do on my channel, I do not try to promote nor do any of those things. My videos that I do are for entertainment purposes only.
Word. I mean, but what you're doing is kind of like comedy. It's not even all the way harsh, bro. It's like your shit, like you elevate yourself, and I think Fist is starting to like take notice for you, man. So it's kind of interesting.
Exactly. So I just said, you know what? I'll take my 7-day ban, and it is what it is.
Ah, dude. So let me guess. Was it the one with the fat jokes that you did, or the fart jokes, or which one was it? The stinking plaster jokes? I don't know. Like I've seen different kind of like videos of yours lately, like that.
The video I said about the signing of, you know who that famous football commentator is, the hands on
And
your
you don't.
knees.
Oh, you were talking about the Bears. Okay, so it had something to do with the Bears related content. Okay, so
No,
you were
no,
talking.
what? No, it didn't have to do anything with the Bears related content. It was one of my, videos that you remember that famous football commentator on YouTube.
Forget his name.
Like his name is like Chris Analyst or something like that.
Chris Collinsworth.
Oh,
No.
So I
Or-
uploaded a video to make dissing him, the guy. I'm just gonna say the guy because I'm not gonna. So
Okay, so it's not. So it's a Chris guy. Okay, I get it now, man. But yeah, YouTube is kind of too sensitive with stuff, man. You can't. You don't even have a platform to speak how you want, man. Like, see, the community with YouTube is they take away a lot of that platform, bro. Like everybody has a right to speak how they want. But when I look at your video, dude, I don't see nothing personal like most people would do. Like I've seen a lot worse people who do content to where it's like at a certain extent,
and
to a
actually,
certain line.
CG, I brung up a valid point on Twitter. If you're gonna delete my video for harassment and cyberbullying, delete Cold Raven's videos that he did. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah. I'm surprised YouTube deleted your videos out of like literally everybody out of who does.
I mean, I've seen people do worse, so it's like
exactly. Exactly. Like there are literally live streams of bullying, harassment done by people that CG knows and YouTube
I
has
mean,
done.
there's just people who promote stuff like that and think it's like something to do. Like what people don't understand is like there's a fine line between what you're doing on your videos, but if people don't like your content, then why even waste your energy with somebody you don't even rock with? And why you want to start a beef? You want to start clout chasing somebody because of the fact that they got some bigger channels. Hey, it's one thing to at least trash talk somebody, but if you know your limits, okay. For example, when I did my trash talk with Fist Vegas, that was just nothing out of personal. That was more like, hey, I just wanted to see how he would respond. I kept doing it like maybe multiple times, and then I guess somebody told me that out of the blue I was throwing the video, but I never took it personal like most people, you know?
Exactly. And my videos that I do, it's not to promote cyberbullying nor
None
what.
of that. It doesn't promote nothing unless, I mean, there's a lot of people that are a lot worse than that. Like I've seen people with content to where they go to a certain extent. So it's like, but yet they still got a platform.
Yeah,
I mean, when I did my Ryan Pace video where I basically aired him out after he cut Kyle Fuller, that didn't get taken down. Like I said, some very harsh words in that video.
Yeah, see? But the thing is like, what is it with this? What's the rules with the concept of YouTube, man? They're starting to take away, like before when people would go on Facebook, they can't even do what they can't even post whatever they want no more like they used to. It's like, what are you trying to do? You're taking away people's platforms to do what they want or speak how they want. There's a certain extent to where I may agree with it, but if you have a platform to do what you want, but if it doesn't have no harm to nobody else, then why is it such an issue? But I've seen people do a lot worse, and they don't even get none of that disciplinary action with that. So just saying.
That's facts.
Yeah, and by the way, people, Team Hell No will invade YouTube when my channel gets back online.
What's up, Boss on the Sports? What's up, Dante? I send you the link, Dante. Go on to the link. I'll let you in.
And by the way, I just let Butters think what he wants to think. I just want to make that. I just want that to go on the record.
Dude, Butters is already making a gimmick out of the character. You and him are Team Hell No. Fisk is liking it. Everybody else is digging it. It's like it's kind of interesting, like out of that. But I think for CEO, man, you just going with it. You're just riding with it. I think Butters, you're just trying to overtake it, overtake the gimmick out of it. I think CEO's just going with it, like rolling. He's like like, I don't give a shit. I'll roll along.
Yeah, pretty much. Like fighting like Butters corny shit it's not worth it anymore. I just go along with it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a point where you can put up with it, and then there's a point like, you know what? I'll get the hang of it. What the hell?
Yeah, we're going to invade YouTube. So CEO, here's what we're gonna do. All right.
That shit's gonna be taking my channel down with that shit. I'm just playing.
we're going to kick down the doors. We're gonna go to the office. You're gonna choke slam the boss, and I'm going to do what Daniel Bryan did to Triple H, and didn't he like lock him with a sledgehammer?
I have absolutely no idea. I don't even keep tabs on WWE like that. Like I know CG's a big. You used to. Hey, what's up, Awesome the Sports? But I know you're a big WWE fan, right, CG?
Yeah, every now and then I'll watch it. Not as much. Like I usually just watch sometimes because I work too much on my schedule. So it's like lately it's kind of been a little difficult with my shit. So it's like my boss has been throwing me out there on different locations, different shit, and then he just cut off my hours for no reason. And then I just had to like check out another job spot. So I've been kind of like thrown out there too much. So it's like, and then the other company, it seems like to me that if things goes as planned, I might get a call either by Monday or Tuesday. So we'll see. But other than that, I'm not too concerned about job jeopardy or none of that. I'm just kind of making sure what's out there before I have a conclusion to decide whether to stick around or just go elsewhere.
Oh, yeah. And CEO, if the Bears take a offensive tackle instead of a quarterback, we need to go to Hallis Hall and do some, shit. We need to go to Ryan Pace's house. You choke slam him, and I will get a belt and lock him.
Oh hell, no. I'm not going anywhere near Chicago.
Dude. I don't know if the Bears will draft a quarterback at this point because you got the 20 pick. I don't know if Ryan Pace is willing to trade up, and knowing that the history doesn't repeat itself. I mean, last time he did draft a quarterback, it didn't pan out. Maybe the Bears will be cautious and wait it out for a little bit. I think even if you guys do go offensive line or a receiver, it wouldn't be a bad option because who do you got? Nick Foles, Andy Dalton. If you're lucky, if you wait in the second round, maybe you get somebody like a Kyle Trask, and maybe you get something out of that kid.
CG, it's literally worthless taking an offensive tackle if you don't have a good quarterback.
Well, you do got Ronald McDonald.
What the
Ronald McDonald, like the red-haired clown. You got Red Rifle. You got Napoleon Dynamite. At quarterback.
That's right.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Red Rifle.
I mean, I could see us trading Nick Foles and Anthony Miller for the drafts for the trade up.
Yeah, I've heard talks that you guys might trade Anthony Miller. I don't know.
But I'm actually hearing Miami is opening up to trading again with their 6th overall pick.
Well, the Bears will have to give up a lot of draft capital for that to happen. I don't think Miami's willing to do it right now because I think at this spot they want to get a receiver. So Miami might want to get a receiver.
Well, with Miller, he brings a lot of potential. So, Miller's just one of those dudes that, he'll either show up at the beginning or the end of the season.
Well, that potential is what's actually got him outplayed. I mean, the rookie outplayed him. The one you guys drafted, he outplayed Miller. What's his name? Mooney or something? He outplayed him.
Yeah, like I said, Darnell Mooney and the receiver core of the Bears is looking deadly because you have Allen Robinson who signed his franchise tag. We have Darnell Mooney, and we have Marquise Goodwin now.
Yeah. So, what's up? What's up, Roberto? What's up, dude?
And by the way, I absolutely like the Goodwin signing the Bears did.
Okay, let me give you the reason why you guys are signing him. And I know what you're going to say. Yeah, he's going to run slants. He's going to catch those deep passes. You can use him in jet sweeps. But the only issue with him is his ability to stay healthy. The only thing that stood out for Goodwin was his 1 year, like when he had his best year, was in 2017 with us. And that's when he flourished under that offense. But ever since he got hit by that Rams cornerback, he's never been quite the same player. Like ever since he got knocked out of the game, he's lost playing the game mentally, like when he was breaking out with us in 2017, he was the bright star of our offense, even with Brian Hoyer or Bether, whoever was the quarterback, because of injuries and all that stuff and switch. He was the only one that stood out. But then that Rams cornerback from that last game of the season, when Goodwin was about to catch that ball, wham! That dude knocked the shit out of him, and he was knocked out of the game. He was he had potential to at least get 1,000 yards for that. All he needed was, 30-something yards to get 1,000 yards, and he got knocked out of the game. And I don't know if the Rams defender did it on purpose or was it just accidental. We'll never know.
I mean, the whole purpose of being a defensive player is, protecting. So I can understand why they do it. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really care about if it was Goodwin or Miller taking the slants because I know who's gonna be our deep threats like Mooney and Robinson. I'm just expecting Goodwin to take the slants and to take the Jets sweep. I don't see Goodwin being
He's not he seems more like a one-trick pony. He was elevating himself as a good route runner, but he's lost confidence. I thought when we traded him to the Eagles, he would have been their starter, but he sat out because of COVID reasons.
Also, we have the Rio MVP of the 2020 Super Bowl on our running back.
Who?
Damian Williams.
Oh, Damian Williams? Oh, yeah, you guys signed him from the Chiefs, huh?
Yeah, everyone's going to say, every unbiased Chiefs fan said that he should have won the Super Bowl MVP.
Well, he played his best game, but let me get this Bears logic. Oh, we got the 2017 Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles, and then we got the guy who should have been Chiefs MVP in the Super Bowl. I guess you got two of those kind of people.
Yeah, but the same thing is.
Yeah. So, guys, I'm gonna let you guys off the stream. I'm gonna go talk with Atlanta fan. It's good chit chatting with y'all. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, see you.
Let me just put the introduction. All right, man. Let's get my dude in the stream. Don't mind interacting, bro. What's up, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Hey, you didn't have to cut out. You didn't have to kick off all the other people, man. I could have,
Okay, I just didn't. Okay, I'll put them back in. Trying to make sure everything was clear. Hey, you guys can go back in, man. My bad. I just didn't want to make it sound like they would just go into trash talking concept. I'll put them back in. Hey, you guys can go back in. My bad. I just didn't want it to be to where everybody kind of butts in and all that.
It's all good.
It's all good. So how you feel about the draft, man? So you guys, I've heard rumors that you guys might trade down.
I mean, everybody's talking at this point. It's either Kyle Pitts or Justin Fields or Trey Lance or trade down or Sewell. I don't believe all that shit until actual draft night because all it is talking.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like, there's been talks of who we're gonna get at quarterback, whether it's 3 different quarterbacks. That's the thing. It's a mystery because we didn't reveal it or nothing. Like, the only 2 picks that are likely a lock is Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. The third one is not guaranteed.
The Niners are the same way. It was Mac Jones early, and then you saw the Niners at the pro days of Trey Lance and Justin Fields. Then I saw some report that the Niners had dinner with Trey Lance's family in North Dakota and flew out there. So, it's all talk, man. We all just guessing at this point.
Yeah, we're all guessing. Yeah, I told them they can go back in, because I just wanted to make sure they just come up with sports introduction and not butt in. But they can come back in. So, like you were saying, dude, there's just different case scenario where we can go to because quarterback is actually it's not a big need. It's a luxury. I think it's more of a luxury than it's a need because Jimmy G, when healthy, he's actually led us to the Super Bowl. So, I think this year's draft we can get anybody because we already addressed a lot of players. So it's we can go either direction. After quarterback, we can get the biggest need. All right.
Yeah, if the Niners defense is healthy again, y'all can go back to the Super Bowl with Mac Jones easily. He's a lot better than Garoppolo. So that's a solid pick right there. I don't think you can do any wrong with that pick. Ain't no way he can be worse than Garoppolo.
There's no other bad choice. Even if we do go Mac Jones, it can't be that worse because Shanahan would make sure he succeeds. So even if we do go that route, which I know a lot of our fan base don't like that idea, it's kind of it's pretty obvious. Shanahan likes that kind of quarterback, but
by the way, I don't think we can I'm just gonna say this: if they take Justin Fields, just don't expect him to have a good season or a good NFL career whatsoever.
Well, that's another man's opinion. I'm not really too high on Justin Fields like a lot of people are, but I know that he's got the best attributes, the best talent-wise. I've seen a lot of what people are saying. Yeah, Ohio State quarterbacks haven't panned out, and I think that's the pressure on Justin Fields. Can he actually prove the doubters wrong? And I think his talent is a lot better than Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins Dwayne Haskins has the lazy work ethic. I see a little bit different with Justin Fields. The more you watch him, the more you kind of think, he's got a little bit of a ceiling like a Cam Newton, if not better, a little bit better ceiling. But I'm not too high on Justin Fields like the way you think, Butters. I'm not that high on him, but I think he's a lot better than Dwayne Haskins is, because I think the way you were putting your video on, I kind of agree in certain extents, but I kind of disagree when you said that Justin Fields would be a bust. I think that it depends on the situation where he plays at, because that's where he can fail at, and this is where he can succeed. If he were to play, if he plays in San Francisco, he's not going to play right away. He ain't going to play right away. He'll be able to sit for a year, and he'll be able to excel next year because he'll learn the playbook.
Okay, so when Jimmy Garoppolo, because Jimmy Garoppolo, let me be honest, Jimmy Garoppolo, if he's doesn't improve, then you should expect Justin Fields to take the field next year.
More than likely because he won't fail because you're going to give him some weapons. What were you going to say?
And also, in Ohio State, they play a deep vertical offense where it forces Justin Fields to hold the football and take big shots. They play like how Bruce Arians was with Ben Roethlisberger, how he was in Arizona. A lot of that gets quarterbacks hit and they take more sacks and they have to hold the football more. With y'all offense, it's more of a West Coast easier offense to run where Justin and you guys have a run game, you guys have a defense. Justin Fields is not going to have to stand back there and do all the things that he had to do at Ohio State. He's gonna be a lot more protected, and he's not going to fail. And to your guys' point about Jimmy Garoppolo, I went to Eastern Illinois and I graduated and I went back and I saw Jimmy Garoppolo play in college myself, and He plays the exact same way he plays in college as he plays in the pros. He's good when he's protected with the run game, but when you ask him to win a game by himself, he struggles, he throws picks, and he gets hurt. So I don't think any of those three quarterbacks are going to be worse than Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not even close. And you guys got to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, so there's no way Justin Fields is going to be worse than Jimmy Garoppolo. There's no way.
There's just no way because with this situation, it's a luxury.
Oh yeah, go on. I'm just gonna say, in about 2 years, we will see Justin Fields be working at McDonald's with Dwayne Haskins.
No.
This guy's funny, man.
Dwayne Haskins has zero work ethic. He has a bad attitude. You saw in the draft when he got dropped in the draft and the Redskins took him. He was like mad he was drafted by the Redskins, and he, just look at him now. All the comments he was making when before he got cut, like Justin Fields is not that type of person. He's just not. And that goes a long way in the NFL. It really does. Like, I mean, we felt the same way about Michael Vick. Michael Vick had all the skills in the world, but Michael Vick, when as a rookie, he didn't give a shit about learning the playbook. He admitted it. He said he took the playbook and threw it in the trunk of his car. Now that shows when in big games Michael Vick couldn't get the job done. And a lot of people hate on Matt Ryan, but he took us way farther than Michael Vick ever dreamed of taking us. So I think work ethic goes a long way, and Justin Fields is a proven hard worker. I mean, he breaks his rib. He stays in the game, still balls. He outduels Trevor Lawrence in a playoff game. I mean, this kid is tough as nails, and he's way more accurate, way better thrower, better decision maker than Haskins. I don't think y'all are going to be upset with Justin Fields on your team.
I'm not a 49ers fan. I'm a Bears fan.
Oh.
No, he's a Chicago fan. What do you expect from a Bears fan? But I know what he's talking about. Like,
I'm not going to disrespect him. I was born and raised in Chicago. I'm in Illinois right now as we speak.
And by the way, you're a Falcons fan. You're a Falcons fan.
I know, but I'm the only defector in my family to be a Falcons fan. Everyone else is Bears fans.
True story.
My family. So I've been defending this my whole life. My dad tells me what's wrong with me because I'm a Falcons fan. So
what's your excuse for Matt Ryan being a complete loser?
I mean, what is your term of loser?
His embarrassing losses, and not just 28-3. Like he lost to Jay Cutler, the smoking Jay Cutler in Miami. All he did was smoke some cigarettes and press conferences, and known for throwing interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Then he blows another lead to I think it was Cam Newton. He in that one season where he had like a 10-point lead and he choked it away. And
well, I'll say this, Butters. Football, first of all, is a team sport, and number two, Matt Ryan is top 10 all time in passing. Number one, number two, he was offensive rookie of the year. The first time he was a rookie, we had a losing record before him, and he automatically took us to the playoffs in his rookie season. Named Offensive Rookie of the Year, league MVP, took the team to a Super Bowl. I don't see how that is a loser. I don't see how you can say that's a loser. When he was on Boston College, he made Boston College a top 5 program in the entire nation. Before that, Boston College was irrelevant. After that, Boston College was irrelevant.
Look. I know when I usually, have these debates, people say, "Oh, football is a team sport." Okay, and I have not.
Well, it is.
It is.
I
if Devontae Freeman makes a block on Dante Hightower in the Super Bowl, we're not having this discussion. If our defense doesn't blow a 25-point lead, we're not having this discussion.
Dude, if Shanahan had better play calling against the Chiefs, it wouldn't be in this discussion about Jimmy G whatsoever. It would have been he's still our guy, but now that's in question mark because he can't stay healthy. So, okay, look at it this way, man. Did Jim McMahon win a Super Bowl with his skill set? No. He won a Super Bowl with the entire defense and the best skilled players he had around him. That's how the 85 Bears won, dude. So are we going to talk about that Jim McMahon was trash? No, he benefited around a good talent.
So, Butters, are you going to tell me Trent Dilfer is a great quarterback because he won a Super Bowl? Or are you going to tell me he was a part of the greatest defense ever assembled on the Baltimore Ravens? Are you going to tell me Brad Johnson is a great quarterback? Or are you going to tell me he was lined up to death with Buccaneers Hall of Fame defensive players across the board? Those guys couldn't lace Matt Ryan's boots, but they won Super Bowls because their teams are amazing. You
Yeah,
can't
and
tell me
your
football's not a team sport, bro.
your quarterback got swept by a gadget quarterback named Taysom Hill. Was that embarrassing?
Taysom Hill benefited around a good team. Like the Saints had some good defense, and they actually had a really decent offense, and it wasn't that bad.
Taysom Hill's not built for he's not built. He's a gadget quarterback.
Correct, and guess what? Matt Ryan's not on the field playing defense, so Taysom Hill's not going against Matt Ryan. You do know those seasons that you're talking about. Matt Ryan was still top 5 in passing, right?
Yeah, but Matt Ryan's put up all these empty calories that don't mean anything.
They're not. They're empty calories because his defense let him down. We have one of the worst run games in the world. Our O-line is awful. Our defense is awful.
Yeah, like if you look at the statistic ranks of their run defense, it was ranked among the worst.
Did you not see that Dallas Cowboys game where Matt Ryan had like 400 something yards, 4 touchdowns? We scored 39 points and still lost to an onside because our defense gave up so many points. We let Dak Prescott score like 28 straight. Did you not see that game?
Maybe if Matt Ryan didn't choke so bad, you guys you can keep blaming the onside kick, but there was many chances the Falcons.
No. Before the onside kick, we scored we let the other team score 35 plus points. So how is that Matt Ryan's fault? We scored 39.
So if Matt Ryan before the
so 39, hold on, 39 is not enough for you. That's what you're saying? A quarterback needs to score more than 39. How many games has Tom Brady won scoring low ass points? How many? A ton.
Yeah,
Tom Brady was blessed with the top 10 defense his entire career.
Ways to win the game.
What?
Matt Ryan
I'm not comparing Matt Ryan to Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback.
There's a different category.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Tom Brady was blessed with a top 10 defense his entire career. That helped a lot.
I mean,
Matt Ryan's been in the league 12 years plus, and he's only had a top 10 defense one time in his entire career. So I would love to see Tom Brady with our defense. I would love to see that. I really would.
Tom Brady went to a Super Bowl with Matt Patricia. Not trying to hear that.
Yeah, and also Tom Brady broke records with Randy Moss that year, and they went to the Super Bowl. And what happened? They lost. Why did they lose? Why did they lose that Super Bowl? Because they didn't have defense. That's why they lost. They lost to Eli Manning.
Their secondary was very suspect. They had one
suspect
secondary.
Why did Eli Manning beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl? Because Eli Manning had a stacked defense. The front four didn't have to blitz. They were pressuring Tom Brady in his face all game long, and they beat Tom Brady. That's why. You gave Tom Brady his best career ever with Randy Moss, and they still lost the Super Bowl. What does that tell you?
They were in the. You're comparing Matt Ryan.
No. I'm comparing that Super Bowl to when Tom Brady won Super Bowls when his defense was loaded.
Tom Brady is a 10-time, appearancer. Tom Brady is an MVP.
Once again, I'm not comparing Tom Brady to Matt Ryan. I already told you Tom Brady is the best quarterback to ever live.
Okay.
I'm comparing Tom Brady's Super Bowl games to Tom Brady's other Super Bowl games. His wins and his losses. When he beat Carolina Panthers early in his career in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady had one of the best. Tom Brady game managed the hell out of that game. He barely did anything in that game. They won a Super Bowl. But the year Tom Brady has the best offense ever recorded with Randy Moss, they don't win. Why is that, Butters? Tell me.
So I'm going to give you.
But he's not comparing the difference. He's just talking about game stats. Like, let's get to that part. Like,
look, I'm going to tell you a great example. Okay,
you're not answering my question, though. You're deflecting.
Okay, answer his question.
So you're saying because ask me your question again.
The years Tom Brady won the Super Bowl, his defenses were stacked. The year he lost with Randy Moss, he had the best offense in the league. Randy Moss broke a wide receiver record for touchdowns. Tom Brady, I think at the time, broke the record for most touchdowns in a season, and they still lost. They lost to little Eli Manning, who no one thinks he can sniff Tom Brady, and they lost to Eli Manning because Eli Manning had the better defense. So, why is that?
The league, okay. I'm also going to say why, offenses matter more than defenses were a long ass time ago. I'm going to tell you this. You can't win a Super Bowl with just a defense and a pathetic, decent offense. We all can agree on that.
Yes.
So my conspiracy is in order for you to win these big time games, you have to score with a very elite offense. So my conspiracy is I don't care about a defense. I don't care about any of a defense key players. My only thing is, in order to win, football is a sport where you have to score more than your opponent to win. All right,
Well,
am I correct?
Well, you're going off of theory. I'm going off of facts. So defense does matter because Kansas City Chiefs last year, way better offense than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers struggled in a lot of games to score points. Why did they win? Because Shaq Barrett, Ndamukong Suh, Levante David, Devin White, that defense is stacked. You can go throughout history. The Arizona Cardinals losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why? Because the Steelers had a better defense. There's so many. The Baltimore Ravens, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When the Bears lost that one Super Bowl, that's Rex Grossman blew that one. But if you go throughout history, the better defense always wins. Always.
Okay.
The Seattle Seahawks. Hold on, I'll give you another example. Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson, when he was game managing the game, low scoring points, and the Legion of Boom were killing people, they won a Super Bowl. The moment they're doing all this let Russ cook shit and the offense is flying, they're not winning shit anymore. Defense is more important than winning Super Bowls.
Okay, so you just said the Bucs, so I'm just gonna have to disagree with you on the off. Like the offense is, like stacked. Like, they have like game players. They have Mike Evans. They have Goodwin. They have Antonio Brown. They have Gronk. They have Fournette. Like, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there because their offense was good.
It was good, but it
wasn't
as good as the Kansas City Chiefs. That's statistically not true. They were not as good as the Kansas City Chiefs, number one. Number two, the Bucs offense was better with Jameis Winston in terms of statistically, but they weren't winning shit. Why? Because the turnovers and the defense wasn't that good. They add what's his name? The safety, Antoine Winfield Jr. They had a whole bunch of other pieces, and the defense was shutting people down. I mean, look, they made Mahomes look silly in that game. That was one of the worst offensive performances I've ever seen in my life by Mahomes. I think that was his worst game ever, if I'm not right, Ruthless.
Yeah, the Weeknd even scored a touchdown before Mahomes did.
Did he score a touchdown the entire game, Mahomes?
Yeah, the Weeknd did. The Weeknd did, yeah.
He never scored a touchdown. He didn't, I'm not going to
3 points, bro. 3 points, 3 field goals. That's all he had.
Oh, I thought you were like free field goal. I was like, what the?
No, we're talking about the Super Bowl game, like the one where the Bucs defense actually showed out and the Chiefs were only able to score 9 points.
Look,
dude,
they were playing Mahomes like a fiddle. Like, if
but defense does still play factor. Defense still does matter in today's game. It depends on what kind of matchup, because if you look at the difference, Mahomes didn't have a line. And the defense was able to pressure, dude. Like, the defense was able to change the game. If Niners would have just had the same situation, it wouldn't be discussed as Jimmy Garoppolo being replaced. It would have been talked about as Shanahan being the genius. If that was the case, Atlanta would have won the Super Bowl, and nobody would have talked about how much of a terrible play call that Shanahan did with the Falcons. They would have just been smart enough to just kick the field goal and win.
I think we would hear that, how Brady's a system quarterback.
Yep, that's what they would talk about.
And then Ruthless, your Niners are also another walking example of that. Y'all make it to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, what does that tell you? That defense is a fearsome, foursome. I mean, Bosa. You can name all of them for me though.
Ford. And then we had Buckner for that time before we traded him. And then Armstead was dude. Armstead to me was the most overrated player, and he's only benefited because the best talent around him.
No, I'll take him on the Falcons. Shit, he's good.
If you look at the statistics, before he had that breakout year, he only had like maybe about 9 career sacks, and that was throughout his entire season, like 4 years before he even broke out. You take away all that talent that he had around him with those 10 sacks, he only got 3.5 sacks.
And
his production slide.
Butters, the only game I'll give you is Rams Chiefs, because the Chiefs offense was better and they ended up winning that Super Bowl. But the only reason the Rams were in that game was because their defense kept them in that game. Jared Goff was fucking awful. So yeah, I'm not saying that you can win with absolutely no defense. No offense.
Real talk. let's be honest. The only reason why the Rams were in that Super Bowl was because of the, that bullshit no call pass interference.
It was controversial. I'll admit it was kind of questionable.
Which one are you talking about?
That championship game where the Saints and the Rams were playing. That was kind of suspect.
I mean, but and I'm not trying to say this because I hate the Saints, but let's just talk realistically. How many times have we seen a team get first and goal, which is what they would have got if the call was made, and then the team gets stoned 4 straight times at the goal line? Like, so you can't assume that they were going to score right away. Number one,
yeah, but they would run down. Look, here's what I think would have happened if if they actually called it. I think the Saints would have just run down the clock and kicked the game winner, because that's what
did they need a touchdown or was it a field goal?
It was a field goal, but I think they would have ran down the clock.
Okay, so let's just say about what happened. They went to overtime. The Saints had the ball. They still had the ball. They still had a chance to win. It's not like something stopped them from winning. And Drew Brees threw the pick. So how are you gonna blame that on the Rams?
So what if it happened on the Falcons?
I would still say
not even about the Falcons.
I'd still say the same thing. I still say the same thing because I'd be like, damn, Matt Ryan threw a overtime pick when we still had a chance to win the game. The game wasn't over. Most teams that win the overtime toss, they usually win the game.
Yeah. But like he said, okay, see, that's the only time you would probably have to put the blame on Matt Ryan on this situation. If he did throw that game away, then of course you would put the blame on him. But in general, it's a team sport. So of course you're gonna win and lose with your quarterback no matter what, and it's gonna take a whole entire team to win a game. This is not like this ain't like the NBA, man. It's not a one-man player show where they actually carry your entire team and all that. Dude, and I don't expect anybody to say that Matt Ryan's the greatest. No, he's the best for Atlanta. Atlanta's never had anybody that good until he came into the picture. Atlanta Falcons, after Vic, they were irrelevant. They were mediocre until they got Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan made that offense look spectacular. And then when Kyle Shanahan became the coordinator, he became elite MVP. So
And then, what kills me is people say, "Oh, he had Julio Jones his entire career." Matt Ryan played 3 years without Julio Jones, and like I said, offensive rookie of the year.
So
go ahead.
You had Roddy White. You tell me
Roddy White is now some all pro.
Wasn't that great, but he was decent. He was decent. But
look, if Matt Ryan, I'm just gonna say hypothetically speaking, because he gets laughed at by the media. I think
we all know that.
We all know that.
So, if Matt Ryan lost that, if he had the worst performance, let's just say it was the worst performance of his career. I know you see the goodness in Matt. He's a good fantasy player. I had him on fantasy. He helped me a lot in fantasy. But all I'm gonna say is this. Every time Matt Ryan chokes, I can go on it's a joke where Fizz Vegas said, "Oh, I can go on Pornhub and basically look up Matt Ryan, basically look up choke, and Matt Ryan would just appear."
So are you going to give that same energy to the Saints when they choke 3 playoff games in a row? Or when the Saints were 7-9 for 3 years in a row with Drew Brees? Or are you going to blame the defense? Because I hear this all the time, and then the moment I bring up the Saints were 7-9 3 years in a row with Drew Brees at the helm, they automatically go, "Oh, but it was our defense." But when Matt Ryan loses, it's not his defense, it's his fault. So I need you to show me the games where Matt Ryan is literally choking, throwing a game interception pick to cost the game, a game losing fumble to cost the game, a game losing sack to cost the game. I need you to show me those games and not show me games where the defense completely let him down or the offensive line completely let him down or the run game was non-existent.
Matt Ryan's been losing way worse than Drew Brees.
No, Drew Brees has actually had the worst for a while, bro.
No, they're not. The Falcons head-to-head with the Saints have a winning record. They've won more games against the Saints than the Saints have won against us. So that's not true.
Sure, Brees has a Super Bowl ring, but then again, lately Brees has been choking way more than Matt Ryan. Let's be honest. Yeah.
People forget Drew Brees when he first came to the Saints off the Chargers. They were bad for a while.
Yep.
All people remember is his one. All people remember is his one Super Bowl win, and then they remember all the stats that he's accumulated over the years. But they don't remember. I mean, like I said, are you going to hold him accountable for those 3 playoff chokes in a row where he played god awful and looked like his arm was dead?
Okay,
are you going to hold him accountable for that?
Can you give me an opponent out of those 3 teams? Just give me an opponent.
The Vikings, for example.
Okay.
Brees lost the Vikings like not once, but twice in the playoffs. How can you lose to the Minnesota Vikings and lose to Kirk Cousins?
Okay.
Yeah, was it Drew Brees' fault that Marquise Williams completely missed the tackle and Diggs ran for a touchdown? Was that Drew Brees' fault? Was that a choke?
His fault, no.
Was that a choke?
Okay, that's funny because I was just gonna say that. What
is that a choke?
Before Diggs,
see, good argument there.
Before Diggs caught that pass over the sidelines, a touchdown, Drew Brees came back. Like after majority of the times that he's losing, he has a lead before something happens. Like you remember in 2000, like it was 2011 or 2010, I don't remember, but in 2010-ish, you remember when Marshawn Lynch like Beastquake, like it was like the Beastquake where Marshawn Lynch trucked 11 players on the defense.
The Saints were never the same.
What like that was not like we can all agree that right after before Marshawn Lynch trucked all those 11 players down, Drew Brees was leading.
Yeah. And how can the Saints have one of the best offense in 2011? They had one of the best offense and lost to the 49ers. Lost to a Jim Harbaugh-led offense. And their offense was okay, but it wasn't all bad. But their defense was one of the best, but it was able to. The Saints choked.
Also, I'm not going to blame – I'm just going to say that Sean Payton – like, I'm not going to doubt Sean Payton's, like, greatness, but if you look at his career in the playoffs, they'll tell you a different story.
Yeah, and first of all, to just bring up 2 points to be clear, I'm not a type of Falcons fan where I think Matt Ryan is the greatest or he's a god or whatever. I am an objective person. When Matt Ryan messes up, I yell at my TV and I blame Matt Ryan. When Julio messes up, you know, Julio is first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest wide receivers ever, but sometimes he drops routine catches and then he'll make an amazing catch. And you're like, what the fuck? Why can't you just catch the routine ones too? So I hold everybody on my team accountable. So I don't want you thinking that I'm some kind of like homer and that's all I do is you know, I give blame when blame is due and I give praise when praise is due. Second of all, Matt Ryan for a long time had the record for the most comeback wins in the NFL. So I don't know if you're like you just have blinders on and you don't see these games or you don't want to see these games, but he had a record for the most comeback wins in the NFL for a long time. They nicknamed him Matty Ice because of his comeback wins and saying he has ice in his veins. That's literally where the nickname came from. They didn't just make that up out of thin air. Number 3,
I mean, right now, to me, comeback wins is one of the most misleading stats in the NFL because if you're a great team, you never have to come back. So like Dak Prescott, they use that stat on Dak Prescott now because he has all these comeback wins and all these comeback numbers. Yeah, that's because his team is down the entire game and then he has to come back. So other great teams don't a Chiefs team, Patrick Mahomes is never going to have a comeback stat because he's always ahead. His team is always blowing people out because they do have a balance of great defense and offense. So, you know, some stats are so I can find stats that make Matt Ryan look shit. I can make stats that make Matt Ryan look great. You know, not all stats are created equal, and they are you can manipulate them to make everybody look bad or everybody look great. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
How many touchdowns did Matt Ryan throw in 2018? Like, I'm just trying to look at it because, like, if it's like, because I remember when Fist Vegas, like, you know who Fist Vegas is, right?
Right. You talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick?
No, Fist Vegas.
No, I don't know.
I don't think he follows him.
All right.
It's a person. Oh, no, I don't.
You know, like, he actually makes fun of, like, every year Fizz Vegas always has to do a video on Matt Ryan, whether he chokes or not.
He mostly does on Derek Carr too. He'll trash Derek Carr a lot too, from what I've seen.
So to answer your question, in 2018, Matt Ryan had 35 touchdowns.
Okay, 35 touchdowns.
Is that not good?
And how many touchdowns? How many touchdowns did he throw his MVP year? Because Fizz Vegas said, statistically speaking, his 2018 season was better than his MVP year.
It wasn't yards. In 2016, Matt Ryan had 38. He had 3 more.
Oh, so that was good. That's what got him MVP, but his numbers were skyrocketed into MVP discussion because of the way how Shanahan was able to make it easy for him. And see, people want to overlook Matt Ryan, but he's made Atlanta what they are. I mean, what was Atlanta before? I mean, after Vic, they were mediocre. They had no directions. They had new coaches every other couple years. They had to switch them up, and they had no quarterback. I mean,
and it's funny because, first of all, 2016, and I one of the guys I look to is Colin Cowherd. Whatever he says about us, you just believe the opposite's going to happen because he's always wrong. So in 2016, Colin Cowherd said, "We're not even going to make the playoffs. We're not going to do anything." So we make the Super Bowl. Then the next year, he says, Super Bowl hangover, Falcons ain't going to do nothing. We go to the playoffs, and we knock off the hottest offense in the league, the Rams with Todd Gurley, on their home field. We knocked them off. Then he says the next year, "Oh, I'm picking the Falcons to go deep," and then we don't make the playoffs. And that's because our defense completely collapsed, and we fell apart, and we lost to the can't remember who we lost to. But my point is, in all those years, Matt Ryan's still top 5, top 10 passing in the NFL. Like, he's still right there every single time. It's not like he's not falling off. The team is falling off.
Yeah, I mean, the team hasn't been the. Let me be honest. The team hasn't been the same since 28-3.
Yeah, you could say that because in another 2016, everything kind of just fell in our hand. Like, we had a record for the entire starting offensive line was the same from preseason to the Super Bowl. It never changed, never got injured. And we had a record for the healthiest offensive line ever because that's never happened before. After that, man, our whole offensive line fell apart, decimated with injuries. Devontae Freeman, we paid him money, can't stay healthy to save his life. Keanu Neal tears his shit. Our other defensive players get injured. They're on IR. We lost a whole bunch of players. And then the loss after the Rams game, you remember we lost to Philadelphia Eagles and they ended up winning the Super Bowl. That was because Keanu Neal dropped that interception right in his fucking lap. We would have won that game. We wouldn't have gone on. That wasn't Matt Ryan's fault.
Also, what was your reaction when you remember when Nick Foles threw the ball and the Atlanta player just hit it with his knee and it went
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that was Keanu Neal, our strong safety. Yeah, he's known
what
for
was
hitting.
Your reaction when
not
he
for
did
known
that?
For catching anything. I lost my shit. We should have won that game.
Did you want to throw something? Like
that was embarrassing.
I was laughing when it happened.
That was a weird play too. But here's a question by Gridiron. What do you think, man? What do you think of the Falcons will draft after that?
I think they'll draft an edge rusher, but that's just my opinion.
No, that's too early.
What's the question?
No, he's asking what your Falcons are going to draft, Panea Sewell or Kyle Pitts.
I actually think it's going to be Kyle Pitts or a quarterback. I'm not too happy on Kyle Pitts because either way I see it, our team is far away from being playoff competitive again. So I would rather I'd rather lose and have our future secured with a quarterback, in 2 years, say when Matt Ryan leaves and Julio leaves, versus having a luxury tight end. Yeah, he's going to help us score points, but we're still, the defense still ain't going to be there. Our offensive line still ain't going to be there. So we're still going to end up losing games. And then Matt Ryan leaves or Julio leaves, then what we have? We're going to have Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, and nothing. And then people say, "Oh, well, Jazzy Jeff, you can just go get another quarterback." It's like, yeah, but we ain't going to be picking 4 again. So,
I mean,
how are we going to get another quarterback if we're picking 20 in 2 drafts from now?
So let me be honest. Do you feel like the Falcons might trade their pick?
It's possible. Man, if we trade to like 6 and still get Trey Lance, I'd be happy as hell. because we still have more picks. We can fix our team that way and still have a quarterback.
So let me tell you this: if the Bears were to trade up, which team do you see them, trying to trade up to? Like, do you see them trying to trade up with the Falcons, the Dolphins, 20? The Broncos, like anywhere in the top 10?
What pick are the Bears? 20?
Yeah, 20.
Man.
Because according to reports that I've heard, they're in multiple trade discussions for them to trade up.
I'd say either us or the Broncos at 9, because we all know Drew Lock ain't shit and he ain't taking us anywhere. And John Elway changes quarterbacks like I change my draws. Okay, he always looking for a new quarterback.
That's true.
Maybe Broncos at 9, and I think that one of those quarterbacks is gonna fall. Maybe it's gonna be Trey Lance, maybe it's gonna be Justin Fields. But yeah, I think you'd have to go into the top 10. And you know what? Yes. I wouldn't mind that either, because at 20, the Falcons can still take Najee Harris to fix our run game. We can still take one of the best safeties, Trayvon Moehrig. Maybe J.C. Horn is still there at corner. So, there's a few picks that I wouldn't mind taking at 20, but the Bears got to give up a lot. And we all know the Bears aren't really great at picking quarterbacks. They're not that smart. They really aren't. No offense to your team.
According to reports that I've heard, we actually had a private workout with Mac Jones.
Better trade up and get him before somebody does. The Patriots might do it.
I'm hearing.
I don't think the Patriots are going to do it because they need to replace Julian Edelman.
I'm hearing the Niners are still in love with Mac Jones. So,
who?
Don't matter
to me.
I'm still gonna I don't know if it's gonna be Justin Fields or Mac Jones. I think we're just gonna have to see.
Yeah, two things I always see in drafts. Number one, someone always trades up and does something fucking crazy every year. And number two, there's always a guy that falls deeper than people expect. So I think the fall is going to be Trey Lance, in my opinion.
No, the fall will be Justin Fields.
You think so?
Or you think it's going to be the medical condition? Is that the excuse? I don't think it's going to factor. I think it depends on the team who wants him.
Everyone wants me to actually. This is Trevor Lawrence's nickname. I'm pretty sure you're gonna, use it now. I'm gonna call him Goldilocks Trevor.
Oh, we call him Sunshine from what is that? Remember the Titans? Because he looked just like.
Remember the Titans? Yeah, Sunshine. Yeah, Sunshine. That dude. Yeah, he does look like him with the hair.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna call him Goldilocks. I'm not calling him a bad player. I'm just gonna say he's not gonna prosper under the Jaguars.
Well, dude, you can't judge on the Jaguars yet, because that's the same way they were judging when we had Jim Harbaugh. When Jim Harbaugh was our head coach, nobody thought he was going to turn us around. So, college coaches haven't panned out quite lately, but if you look at Urban Meyer's track record, it speaks for itself. So I got to wait and see before I even come to a conclusion, because Urban Meyer's got one of the best resumes.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't pull a Chip Kelly and just does dumbass shit like try to run DeMarco Murray east and west, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think worse. Yeah, because Jacksonville could do worse. I mean, Jacksonville could do worse with coaches, but I think Urban Meyer is well qualified at this point.
This is the most top-rated quarterback they've ever had in their whole franchise. I mean, Blake Bortles. No one expected Blake Bortles to be good coming out the draft. That good. I didn't.
Blake Bortles. Let me be honest.
They compared him to Broken Man Ben Roethlisberger when he first came out. But I didn't see that either.
I'm not judging Blake Bortles. I'm just saying he's a kind of a one-year wonder.
Yeah, he is. Just like and people are gonna kill me for this, but Carson Wentz is a one-hit wonder.
Because he can't stay healthy.
But even when he's playing, he's bad.
I'm going to give Carson Wentz the benefit of the doubt because he is back with Frank Wright, and he was an MVP under Frank Wright before he got hurt. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And this is the same team that went 11-5 with Phillip Rivers. So I'm going to give Carson Wentz the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that's coulda, shoulda, woulda. You can't call a guy the MVP when he didn't win it. I mean, I'm just saying.
So if Matt Ryan was putting up like MVP numbers, then he got hurt, would you be saying that?
I would be saying, damn, he could have been MVP, but he got hurt. I wouldn't call him the MVP. I'm a realistic person.
There's those ifs and buts situations. So it's like,
I don't live by ifs and buts. I live in reality.
Yeah, that's like saying Derek Carr should have been the MVP 2016 when he tore his ACL or his ankle or something. He could have been MVP, but he got hurt.
Wait, 2016, but Matt Ryan.
Yeah, no. 2016, Derek Carr was in the discussion for MVP before he broke his ankle. He was in the race with Matt Ryan.
So was Carson Wentz.
Hey, so if Devontae Freeman actually makes that block on Dante Hightower and we don't lose field goal position, we would have won that game. So Matt Ryan's a Super Bowler because he should have won that game. That's your logic, and I don't think like that. I think like we lost.
There's different logics, yeah.
Who's your this guy Adrian? He's not talking.
Oh, he's a quiet dude. He's a Broncos.
He's a Broncos
fan.
He's also looks like a Mavericks fan. Is that Luka?
Yeah, I think that is because he's a good old friend of mine. He comes right down like, "Hey, Adrian, bro, you there or are you just quiet?"
Sorry, man. I was eating dinner.
I'll be right.
Oh, okay, that's cool. And that's my good old friend from over here. Like, he's a Broncos fan. He's a cool dude. He's very quiet.
Yeah, the Broncos crushed my dreams the first time in our first Super Bowl in '98. So appreciate that.
Yeah, I saw that game when I was young.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Terrell Davis. We couldn't stop Terrell Davis, and I knew we were going to be overmanned by that team. The Broncos' offense in that year was ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember them. They were a good team back in the day, but yeah, I've been a Broncos fan since '97 to now. So hopefully we'll see who we get this year. But I'm looking for a cornerback. But I still have faith for Drew Lock. So he's like one of not my favorite quarterbacks, but I'm still have faith for him. So I'm just getting tired of driving quarterbacks every year, every 2 years. So see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, so the Broncos do. I think with Denver, they'll either get cornerback, but if they do get quarterback, it wouldn't shock me because, like you said, John Elway changes quarterbacks like underwear. So it's like it's possible.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like Denver hasn't. Let's be honest. Denver hasn't like had a good quarterback since Peyton Manning.
But even with Peyton Manning's last year, he didn't look good, but he still was able to get the job done.
It's funny because it's like the greater the player you are, the worse the GM you are. Like I don't know what is that? Like Michael Jordan, John Elway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yo, remember when like Denver had no quarterback against the Saints? Like all their 3 quarterbacks didn't wear masks and they had to put a wide receiver as a quarterback.
Oh yeah, the guy on the practice squad, right?
Like that.
Yeah, I remember.
That was funny. Like, what was like? I was watching the game and I'm like, dude, like, I'm just like, at least he tried. Like,
yeah, whatever.
And the sad part was the Broncos did have Blake Bortles, but he was on COVID also, so I didn't understand that part.
He wasn't wearing a mask either, or at least I think he was. Like, all I know is all 3 quarterbacks of the Broncos were not wearing any masks.
Hey, how y'all feel about Kellen Mond like in the second round? He reminds me of Dak Prescott.
The upside seems intriguing. Like you can wait until the second round to get him. I think a team like Denver might be the best case scenario, but then again, that's like drafting Drew Lock again. So what's the purpose of the Broncos getting another quarterback? It's like same logic. I think for a team that would get Colin Cowherd,
okay, small dude though. Kellen Mond's huge.
Yeah, and here's where I'd be okay if I'm a Falcons fan. Okay, let's say if I'm in that situation like you are. Okay, you guys go get Kyle Pitts and you guys go draft Kellen Mond. That would be smart. You can develop him, and he wouldn't have to play right away.
It depends how good our team is in the next 2 years and Matt Ryan's gone. I mean, because I think Kellen Mond's going to need a lot of help. If Kellen Mond was on the Niners, I don't think he wouldn't need that much help.
I'm gonna be honest with you being a Falcons, like you better pray your team like tanks because you need like a top one of these like top prospect quarterbacks, like you need to be like a number one like pick or a number 2 at best.
You talking about this year?
No, next year.
There's no good quarterback class.
Yeah, I heard next year is supposed to be all defense. It's not supposed to be good quarterbacks. Which is funny because when we need defense, we're a top pick, and when we don't need defense, I wish we were a top pick when the defensive players were actually good. Then we could have got somebody. Like I was so mad when we passed on Christian Wilkinson. I almost broke my TV. I almost broke my TV when we passed on Ed Oliver. I almost broke my TV when we passed on Taven Bryan, like guys who actually help us.
And you broke your TV when you choked a 28-3 lead to Tom Brady.
Oh God, please!
I mean, I was at a football party with nothing but Bears fans, so I couldn't break my own TV. I wasn't at my house, but yeah, I was pretty pissed off. I mean,
I almost broke
to me, like Butters, like I know what you're trying to do, bro. Like you're trying to make me upset over this whole 28-3 thing, but to me, like that doesn't upset me because I'm a type of person where like the margin doesn't matter. Like a loss is a loss. Like I'm not gonna be happy because we lost by 3 points and the game was close the whole game. I'm still gonna be the same amount of pissed. A loss is a loss to me. So the 28-3 part doesn't matter. I don't care how we lost the game. We lost the game.
Point blank is what he's saying. Like the game was lost no matter what happened.
I just want to know.
The funny thing is like people act like the Falcons were the only team in the history to lose the Super Bowl. Like every year a team loses the Super Bowl. So
yeah, but
why do fans who are not even Falcons fans hang on to this one Super Bowl years after? I don't understand. Like I'm not sitting here harping about Grossman choking in his Super Bowl. Botching the snaps. Devin Hester gets a kick return touchdown. Y'all should have clearly won that game, but you didn't because Rex Grossman sucked and he choked that game. But I'm not sitting here harping on that game. It's one game. It's a loss. Who cares? You move on.
Yeah. See,
I'm actually gonna answer that question for you.
Go ahead.
I actually did a show with this one person. His name is CEO Top Dog. All right, it's the way that Matt Ryan lost. Like he choked. Like
he did not. Look at the game. He did not. He was playing well in the game. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so we're not.
Show me the point where he choked.
Well, the entire team choked.
That's a better argument right there.
That's all. That's all I want. That's all I wanted you to acknowledge. That's all I wanted you to acknowledge. You can say we lost.
See, you finally acknowledge that part.
I don't care. Just acknowledge that part.
They laid an entire egg in the fourth quarter.
They absolutely did. That's our MO when it comes to our team and our defense. We don't know how to play fourth quarter defense. We don't know how to run the football in the fourth quarter. And I thank you, Kyle Shanahan, bro, because he fucked us too. Because all the 2 times that Matt Ryan got sacked and we were out of field goal position because of missed blocks and just god awful play calling. If he just took 2 knees, literally took 2 kneels, we still would have kicked the field goal and won the game. But Kyle Shanahan wanted him to drop back twice for what? When Devontae Freeman couldn't block to save his fucking life. Go watch that play. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Drew Brees. They would have got sacked on that play.
I mean,
if you missed your block,
Hightower ran over Devontae Freeman like he was a little bitch. And the moment Matt Ryan turned his head, he got blasted. Like, I don't know what people want Matt Ryan to do in that situation. If Kyle Shanahan just called a run, Kyle Shanahan just called it 2 runs in a row, and we got 0 yards on both attempts, we still would have won the game.
Well, if it depends what I know what you're gonna say. It doesn't matter which quarterback it was, but if it was like a Lamar Jackson or like one of these,
Lamar Jackson can't even win playoff games. He can't even pass normal attempts in playoff games. He's one of the worst one of the worst accuracy when it comes to playoff throwing. He's god awful. He's great in the regular season. Playoff times, Lamar Jackson wets the bed more than I've ever seen anybody. So if you really want to criticize Matt Ryan and you're not going to give Lamar Jackson the choke label, come on. He's a choker.
But Lamar, let's be honest. Lamar doesn't even he has a horrible wide receiver core.
Oh, so when the Ravens are beating people down, Lamar Jackson's the greatest thing in the world. But when he loses a game, now it's not his fault. Come on,
that's the excuses. But the
come
only
on
thing
now,
with Lamar is the team's got to be accountable.
Same energy. He's blowing these teams out in the regular season with the same exact receivers, the same exact tight ends. But then the moment he chokes in the playoffs, he don't have enough help. What is that?
Look,
that's excuses to me.
Do you like Lamar Jackson or do you not?
I do like Lamar Jackson but he needs to work on his passing. Period. That's what he needs to do. I've seen him wide open receivers. He misses them. It's not receivers dropping the football. It's he can't hit them. But look, I will give you this, Butters. The one thing that pissed me off about Matt Ryan in the Super Bowl the most, because Matt Ryan admitted afterwards, he said they asked him point blank, why didn't you just change the play call to runs if you knew you were going to get thrown the football? And he said, I trust my coaches to call the right plays. So I trusted Kyle Shanahan to call right plays, and he didn't want to overrule him. Now, to me, if you are an NFL MVP and you've been leading this team long enough, you should be able to change the play and overrule people. I've seen, a lot of people call Aaron Rodgers an asshole because he overrides his coaches and, but the thing I like about Aaron Rodgers is he's his own man and he will wave off people. He know if you played that long, you know what you're doing out there. You know what play works and what doesn't. And I like that Aaron Rodgers changes the plays. I like that, Peyton Manning. A lot of time, Peyton Manning, fourth down, the punt team would come off. Peyton Manning would wave the punt team off. He'd cuss at him, tell him, get the fuck back. I got this. That's, to me, my one knock on Matt Ryan is he's too nice in times where he doesn't need to be nice. He needs to be a man. Tell Kyle Shanahan, go fuck yourself. I'm changing this play because I'm the leader of this team. So
that's how Tom Brady is. Tom Brady's the same exact way. Too.
So that to me, that separates, the upper echelon quarterbacks to a lower tier. I'm never going to say Matt Ryan deserves to be in the same class as Tom Brady or whatever. I'm never going to say that. I think he's a lower tier. But what I'm saying is that to me is one of the big differences of a higher tier, the command of a team. And I think some quarterbacks are so trying to be so, I don't know what it is, PC or nice or want to be such a team player that in times when you need to grab the hold of the team, he doesn't do it at times. So that's my biggest knock on Matt Ryan. And a lot of Falcons fans, Butters, you won't find them. They won't tell you that truth.
I mean,
he's as legit as it gets.
I swear to God, I don't lie when it comes to my team. It doesn't mean like I have my own YouTube channel. It does me no good to lie to my fans. Like I know there's Falcon fan channels out there where everything is sunshines and rainbows, and every year we're going, undefeated and blah blah blah. And like I don't understand that logic because at the end of the year, you're going to have to defend what you said on tape. So if I come out and say a bunch of bullshit on YouTube and you know how people are, they're going to play back the video. They're going to put me in a montage. Oh, Jazzy Jeff said this and he's fucking wrong. And look how dumb he is. I don't want to be in that fucking video. So I'm not going to say dumbass shit. I'm going to be realistic about it. When I made our schedule, I said like 9 wins in our schedule. Other people are like, dude, why aren't you going like 13 wins? I'm like, cause I don't see 13 wins on this schedule. And, we ended up winning 4 wins. So I was even closer than everyone else, but it was still bad. So I'm gonna be realistic with you, Butters. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna kiss Matt Ryan's ass. I swear to God, if you're sitting next to me watching a Falcons game, you'll see when I'm getting into Matt Ryan's ass and I'm yelling at him for fucking up. There's a lot of times where I yell at him for fucking up. But if you have a list of all the players in the Falcons who fuck up, Matt Ryan's way at the bottom. Way at the bottom.
So who fucks up the more?
The defense is
no. I'm
every day.
If a player like you said,
man, that is hard, man.
But you gotta put the defense accountable.
A lot of the guys I lost my vocal cords yelling at are not on our team anymore. So like Vic Beasley, Tack McKinley, God, they were fucking awful. I went to the NFL draft in Chicago when we drafted Vic Beasley, and I was actually cheering for this guy, and I feel dumb as fuck for even being in that damn crowd cheering for his ass because he was fucking awful. He gave us one, he led the NFL in sacks his rookie year, and people thought this guy was gonna be the next, Von Miller, and man, were we fucking fooled because he was fucking awful. Tad McKinley, everyone loved his fucking draft speech. Brought up a picture of his grandma, and he's all fired up, and we're all happy for him. And I felt like guys who had to pump themselves up that much, to me, that's like, it's like the real ones don't have to talk about shit. They just do shit. They're real quiet. So I don't like big talkers on draft night. I feel like, just shut up and do it. Like, you haven't earned anything. So Tad McKinley, he's one of them. Keanu Neal, when he dropped that interception, the one you talked about versus the Eagles, he's another one. Robert Alford and Desmond Trufant, we got rid of them. Desmond Trufant's on the Lions now. God, our whole secondary.
Then Devontae Freeman goes up on the list.
Look, I'm gonna say, like, Desmond Trufant's on the Bears. Like,
Chris Chandler.
Oh, he's on Bears now. Yeah, he's on Bears now.
What about Chris Chandler?
Chris Chandler, that's a throwback, man.
But that was a guy that blew that game away.
Yeah. Wait, were you saying what's my thought on Desmond Trufant? Is that what you said?
Yeah, but all I'm gonna say, do you have any positive things to say about him? Like, just be brutally honest, because he's on the Bears right now.
Okay. So Desmond Trufant is a guy who plays real safe. He gives a lot of receivers cushion, and a lot of his stats will show that he doesn't get beat a lot, and that's because he gives guys so much cushion, and then he'll make a tackle underneath. The times he takes a risk, he gets burnt like toast. So every once in a while, he'll take a chance and he'll get interceptions and he'll look good, but then there's games, man, where he'll get burnt and you'll be like, why is he even on our team? And to me, it's like, do you want a guy that's ultra aggressive and takes risk all the time and might get penalties or might get burnt? Or do you want a super safe guy? Because yes, he doesn't get beat a lot, but he gives up so many first downs underneath that it drives me fucking crazy.
So it is like Desmond Trufant like a bust? Is he meh? Is he average, or is he elite? So if I had to do a ranking there,
I don't think he's a bust, and I don't think he's elite. I think he's starting to be past his prime. Like, he's no longer when we first got him good.
So you would say he's like an average or mediocre.
Depending on how he recovers from his injury, average to he can be above average. He can in certain games he can play above average. Like there's a game he had two interceptions on Aaron Rodgers one game, and he was picking him off like crazy. But then the next game he gets burnt. Like that's what he does. He's inconsistent now, is what I'm going to say.
Yeah,
he's
so
like,
what you're saying is he's like one of those types of players that he'll look good for two games, and then the next game he'll look like ass cheeks.
Yes. So if you're expecting Kyle Fuller, he's not as good as Kyle Fuller. He used to be. He's not anymore.
Oh, Kyle Fuller
was solid.
Let me be honest with you about Kyle Fuller. I was mad when we got I'm gonna say, you could have just traded him and I would have been fine with it. But at the end of the day, man, Kyle Fuller, he's one of the greatest cornerbacks. He doesn't get a lot. The only thing I criticize Kyle Fuller on is he drops a lot of easy interceptions, but he still makes a lot of great blocks, a lot of great deflections. Your whole purpose of a defender is to, stop the other team from scoring, and he mostly does that. You remember have you watched the Bears versus the Buccaneers where he laid the smackdown on the Buccaneers player?
Yeah.
I don't know who it was, but he laid the smack. I like to say he laid the smackdown on the Buccaneers player, and he fumbled the ball. So
was that the one where he went 90 yards and then fumbled right at the end zone? Who was that?
No, it was where Tom Brady threw a slant and Kyle Fuller legit smacked him in the shoulder.
No, I'm talking about, there was one game with the Bears, and it was last year, a couple years ago, The dude got an interception. He went like 90-something yards and then like slowed down, and the dude like just slapped the football out of his hand right at the end zone.
Well, I don't know who that was.
But my whole family like lost their damn minds. I can't remember who it was. It was funny as hell though. But no, I've met a lot of Bears players in my time. I used to work in Chicago, and I used to work in Foot Locker, and a lot of them came into my job. Like I sold Brian Urlacher shoes, Devin Hester stuff. I met Peanut Tillman, Tim Jennings. Tim Jennings treated my life because he was like, I was like, oh, Tim Jennings, nice to meet you. Like, yeah, you're a good player, blah, blah. He was like, yeah, man, you should check out a Bears game. We going to be good. So, we going to be good this year. I'm like, oh, I'm a Falcons fan. He goes, oh, well, I'm sorry for you. I'm like, what the fuck?
But guess who plays for the Bears?
Yeah. I've hung out with Alex Brown, Agunlie. Yeah.
Yeah, like I bet I've seen like a Bear player that actually currently plays for the Chicago Bears. He's what's his name? Jalen Johnson. He's from here.
Yeah.
And then I went to the same exact high school from a guy who went to who played for the Bears, but he was a second-round draft pick in 1980. I think it was 1987 draft, but I think his name was Basti Jackson, but he played for the Bears.
So how do you feel about your Falcons coming into the draft class? Do you feel confident, or do you feel like it might be a situation where you're going to look back and say, oh, we're going to screw up big time?
I feel like this is the first year. This year reminds me of when Michael Vick got arrested for dogfighting, and we literally had no quarterback. And then a couple games later, our coach quits on us mid-season. We had no head coach, no starting quarterback for like a half of a season, and we had no idea what we were going to do in the draft. And we ended up getting Matt Ryan. This reminds, because we have new coach, new GM. I have no idea what we're going to do in the draft, and I'm kind of scared, but I'm kind of like excited for the future. And even if Julio, Matt Ryan's window closes, I'm excited for the future, because I'm not one of these people who's gonna cry over certain players. I'm loyal to the logo. I'm not loyal to players. Players come and go, but the logo's forever. So I'm excited either way. I just really don't want to draft Kyle Pitts. I'd rather have Sewell or a quarterback for the future. But I guess the word is excited and nervous.
I mean, or you should guys draft a quarterback to piss off Matt Ryan, so he'll have an MVP season. You know what I mean? Like,
you mean like that Aaron Rodgers situation? You mean the one where the Packers draft Jordan Love and that pissed the shit out of Aaron Rodgers? I think that would be the best motivation medicine. But I think either way, Atlanta's going to be set even if they do draft a quarterback. So Matt Ryan would have something more to prove.
I mean, people who argue against that, like, they forget like Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for 3 fucking years. So if you never thought, people are like, why the hell would I sit a quarterback for 3 years because look at what happened to the Packers. Look at what happened to Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes sat 2 years behind Alex Smith. Just recently, the Chargers, they signed Tyrod Taylor. They said he's the bona fide starter, no competition. They still drafted Justin Herbert. Tyrod Taylor has a freak accident with his like lung puncture, and Justin Herbert ends up being a studded quarterback. So, I'm sure the Chargers are happy that they drafted Justin Herbert. So you never know. Say we draft Kyle Pitts and Matt Ryan blows his leg out. So now you got Matt Ryan at 37 recovering from a blown ACL and no backup plan. You see what I'm saying? Now it looks like we're fucked, really fucked for the future. Versus, hey, Justin Fields can wait and learn, and it's going to really improve his game. And he's going to be once in 2 years, Justin Fields will be a season ready to go guy to start. And then, one game, Matt Ryan blows his leg out. Justin Fields is ready to go. And then right there, you can make that smooth transition. I don't want to hope and pray for some mystery quarterback down the road if we're in position right now to secure the future.
Yeah, because there's a lot of Bears fans that if we get we're definitely going to get a quarterback, but just when in doubt, they were even hoping Andy Dalton failed his physical test, so he wouldn't, because I have a feeling if Andy Dalton was like a star player, like they wouldn't be criticizing him. They just hate the move because Andy Dalton's not a star player. He's not, like my whole time of life being a Bears fan, we never had like a star quarterback like the Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Jay Cutler was your best quarterback, and that's sad.
Again, like I said.
Yeah, and the only quarterback that ever won you a Super Bowl is by the name of Jim McMahon, and he wasn't even that great, but still.
Well,
still,
I haven't watched Jim McMahon because I wasn't born. Let me be perfectly honest.
But he was your Trent Dilfer before there was even a Trent Dilfer or a Brad Johnson.
He was slightly better than Trent Dilfer, but yeah, he wasn't an all. He was like a Jared Goff. Like the team had to carry him.
Yeah, there you go. But a lot better. He was able to manage the game better.
Yeah, and I mean, just look at last year. Andy Dalton had fucking Zeke Elliott, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Gallup, and he still struggled. Struggled to score points.
Well,
so
I'll give you a Zeke. Let me tell you something about Zeke. He had a regression. Let's be honest.
That's fine, but is that offense not better than the Bears?
Well, offensive line.
The Bears are worse on offense.
I'm talking about receivers, running back, offensive line combined. Is that not better than the Bears? It's clearly better than the Bears.
Well, his offensive line was literally the same as the Bears, like in the lower ones.
Okay, and I'll give you that Montgomery, I think, had a better season than Zeke. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, Montgomery definitely had a better season than Zeke.
Okay, but then the wide receivers and the Cowboys blow your wide receivers out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And his job is to throw to wide receivers, and he still couldn't do it with all three of those wide receivers.
Yeah, but if you don't have an offensive line to protect you, then it makes it difficult.
I agree, but then I could say he had an offensive line and receivers on the Bengals a long time ago, and he still can get the job done. Andy Dalton's a journeyman for a reason, He's not the answer.
Yeah, but you got to admit the fact that what he did in Cincinnati was pretty impressive.
I'm just calling out the Bears fans that just want Matt Ryan to, basically suck so we can get a quarterback in there. So that's my whole thing is just don't root for the worst.
Yeah. Hey, but Butters, this is
I'm not a tanking person. I never believe in tanking.
Yeah, but here's the energy with you, Butters. The moment that if Falcons were to cut Matt Ryan and the Bears sign him, you're going to be jumping excited. You're going to have that different energy. That's just the way it is, bro. But the Bears, they can go either direction. I think for the Bears, I wouldn't even be sold with either of those quarterbacks. Why would I want to have confidence with Nick Foles? Why would I have so much confidence in Andy Dalton, man? Are you guys looking to tank again? I mean, I would trade to go get a quarterback. And here's why. Don't even get Mac Jones. Because if you do get Mac Jones, it's like getting another Trubisky. What's the purpose?
Well, the dude won a national champion.
So did Joe Burrow. What's the point?
Well, Joe Burrow had monster numbers.
But Mac
Jones is surrounded by top 10 picks everywhere.
Exactly. See, there's a difference.
First round picks everywhere. Najee Harris, first round. Devontae Smith, first round. The other receiver, what's his name?
I mean, I like Tua, but I don't know. I like
his offensive line first round. His team was loaded. He barely had to do anything on that team. And if you watch, I don't know if you watch Alabama games, but there was a lot of throws he threw really high, and his receivers made amazing catches and made him look good. There's a lot of plays where he threw a little bubble screen and they're going 80 yards. There's Mac Jones. He needs a team around him to look super good. Now, I think the Niners with Shanahan are going to make him look a lot better than he is.
Yeah, but that's the best fit for him. But if he were to go to a team like Chicago, it's going to be a lot worse than what they had with Trubisky.
Yeah, you're not going to give him the best. If you put Mac Jones on the Jets, he would get destroyed. He'd be another Sam Darnold.
The media would eat him alive.
Yeah,
Wilson is going to. I think Wilson's going to struggle badly.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna. be smoking on that Zach Wilson crack soon.
Hey, Zach Wilson came from the same colleges as Jim McMahon, and he's got that bandana style like him too. Hey, maybe in a couple years he'll have a job in Chicago trying to be like a Jim McMahon.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna come to Chicago. Let me be perfectly honest. I mean,
sorry. I mean, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say this: Sam Darnold's gonna have a better year on the Panthers if he starts than Zach Wilson. Just throwing it out there.
I hope not. Fuck the Panthers. No, but they showed a stat of Zach Wilson versus games where teams were above 500, and he had 1 touchdown and 7 interceptions.
Like down and 7 interceptions. Wait,
yeah,
what game was that? Because wasn't that the game where he got beat up? Like
he lost to Coastal Carolina, which is not even a good team. Like if you actually look at the teams he's playing when he goes off, they're really bad teams.
Yeah, but
like small competition, like teams like Fresno State and other teams. Those are like low tier competition.
Did you see the game where two offensive defensive tackles took him down?
No.
Or like it blew up. Like two defensive players were like getting in a fight with him after he threw a pass.
I didn't see that one.
He has a lot of Manziel in him, in my opinion.
He's more like a discount version of Baker Mayfield.
Well, yeah, he has that cockiness like Manziel. So
I can see a little bit of it because of his size, but I think he, you know what Zach Wilson reminds me of when you look at the way he looks. He looks like one of those nice little Mormon guys that goes on the church and says, "Hey, we're here to pass out and reach out for you guys. Go cheer for us," or type of stuff. You know, those kind of guys that ride their bikes up and do their mission. That's what he looks like.
I saw a meme where they took a picture of Zach Wilson like in street clothes, and they put like this like TV set background behind him, and they put like the Disney logo, and it literally looked like Zach Wilson was an actor like on a Disney TV show. Like he looked like Zac Efron or some shit. Like that's what he looked like.
I'm done.
Or he looks like the guy from Saved by the Bell too.
Yeah,
that one blonde haired guy too from Saved by the Bell.
But then again, he's from fucking Utah, which is like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So
Utah's like a Mormon state, so it's a Mormon.
I don't know how cool he can be. You know, he looks like he's a Malibu guy, but he's from fucking Utah. So
he looks like one of those Mormon guys that comes by the mission and tells you, "Hey, go check out our church" or stuff like that. Like I see those people every day wear their white clothes all the time.
Gridiron says Zach Wilson looks like Zach and Cody.
Oh, that guy from the one from Big Daddy that played Julian. Oh, okay, that's the kid.
They're twins. There's 2 of them.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good meme. But
you know that was 2 kids in the movie, right? In Big Daddy.
Yeah, they were. They're twins. Yeah, Zach and Cody. Yeah, The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I believe that's the one you're referring to. But both the twins played on the movie with Adam Sandler called Big Daddy. That movie was funny. Goddamn Jets.
When I first saw that movie, I thought it was one kid the entire movie. Then I found out that twins
so too.
2 people.
I thought so too, man. But I like the part where the guy gets all mad and says, "Goddamn Jets." Who are you rooting for, sweetie? The goddamn Jets. You can't expect anything better if you're a Jets fan, man. I feel bad for those Jets fans, but then again, I think it's a lot better than being a Giants fan if I had to go through that category.
Oh my god!
But at least,
did you hear? Do you hear like their chants? Like they say J-E-T Jets.
Yeah,
it's like school.
Like you could say whatever you want about the bear down, but J-E-D Jets, like that's so high schoolish.
Hey, last year I saw Jets fans saying T-A-N-K, tank, because they were trying to get Trevor Lawrence.
And then they won a game against the Rams.
And then they won and blew it. All they had to do was not win, and then they win.
Yeah. Hey, you should check out this guy's. You should check out this other YouTube channel where it has this guy named Wyatt something, but he does like a comedy about some stuff, and he was making fun of the Jets head coach before he got fired. That shit was funny. I forget what the channel is. I'll probably show you the link some other time. because this guy does like mix up comedy with other teams, and he does like all kinds of like parts you wouldn't expect them to say. You know, it's kind of like, and then okay, you know which is the worst logic I've ever heard of, but I've seen a lot of your Atlanta Falcon fans would agree on this one. Do you guys hate the meaning when they say "rise up" a lot, or does that kind of like okay with you? Because I've seen a lot of these Falcon fans tell me, "Oh, that annoys me."
I would say that's a normal chance being perfect.
I'd say it's normal. I think the whole brotherhood thing bothers me more because every team says brotherhood. So
okay, so that's one thing.
Really yeah, I think
no, because I've heard a couple of like Falcons fans have told me like that's the one annoying thing I don't like is the rise up thing. Like it's just not our thing. But some of them actually like it, and some of them are actually against it.
I'm more like indifferent about it, but I think who that is fucking stupid with the Saints. I think it's fucking stupid.
It's kind of like the Bengals logic in a way.
Yeah, who they and then I think the Panthers keep pounding like the Panthers just keep pounding, and so we every time they lose to us because they always lose to us. We always say keep getting pounded in the ass because that's all you guys are good for.
I'm done.
You know which one?
I'm done.
You know which one's more annoying too in our division? Horns up. Horns up, man. Come on. You're copying the Texas Rams? Longhorns. Yeah, the Rams. Texas Longhorns logic. Horns up. You might as well. Okay.
What's the Seahawks one?
12, man, I believe. The 12.
Yeah, the 12 or something like that.
But you know what's the most annoying part about the Rams? This is what I always tell the Rams. I tell them, you know what you can do with your horns up? You can turn that sumbitch sideways and stick it straight up your candy ass. And then the Cardinals, I think they do call themselves. I think they copy exactly the same thing as the Falcons, but I think they do it differently. They put Red Sea or something.
Yeah, they're called the Red Zone or something like that.
Red Zone, I think Red Zone or Red Sea, but I thought they were kind of copying similar to the Falcons when it came to the Rise Up thing. But yeah, then the one thing that kind of annoys me the most when it comes to the most is the Go Pack Go. That shit's annoying.
I hate the Panthers.
That's annoying. I'm agreeing. If like,
yeah, we gotta agree on that part.
Every time, like the Bears lose, like just a game in general, I get like thousands of messages saying, "Oh, go Pack, go! We smoking on that Bears pack."
Hey, dude. You know what's even more annoying? When you hear like these Raider fans like say the word Raider, like come on, you bunch of retards. Come on.
Wait, I mean, if it's like classic, like Chris Berman doing it, I love that shit.
That's the only classic best part. But when you see majority of those fans yelling like a bunch of slow pokes, man, it's like, oh my god, it's annoying. I mean, I got respect for a certain fan base, but it's like when you hear them yell about their team, it sounds really slow and retarded. Like, come on, man. That shit's annoying.
Butters, I apologize if are you a Cubs fan?
I don't watch baseball.
Okay. So I'm a diehard White Sox fan, and I can't stand the fucking Cubs. And Go Pack Go reminds me of fucking Go Cubs Go and their fucking stupid ass song. I can't stand that song. I want to break my every time. I can't be around those people. I just can't. I hate Cubs fans with a passion.
Yeah. Okay.
Dumbest song in the world.
You know, what? I'll give you a second. I'll be right back. Give me a minute. I'll make something that you can agree on. I'll be right back.
I mean, talk about a team that hasn't won in 100 years, and then the moment they sniff a World Series, they act like they're the fucking dynasty of all time. I can't fucking stand those people.
I mean, they have a right to feel that. Well, they haven't won the Super Bowl. Like, remember when the Kansas City Chiefs, like, they won the Super Bowl, and everyone's talking about 7 rings dynasty. And actually, Brady said a good point that I actually agree upon. He said, "Why not shoot for 7?"
It's one thing to aspire to that, but it's another thing to say like you're the greatest thing since sliced bread because you won one.
Hey, we'll agree on this style.
All right, thanks for the hat, bro. I love that hat.
Yeah, no, I like the style wise. It's one of the more cooler styles I put in my style wise. I don't really follow baseball like most people, but I gotta give respect to you.
And we was talking about movies earlier. One movie that I love that's not really a sports movie, but it kind of is the first Ace Ventura.
Oh yeah, the Dolphins part.
The whole Dolphins and die Dan die and the whole thing against Dan Marino's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it is, and then especially the kicker.
You find out Ray Finkel's you find out the fucking woman is Ray Finkel. She's a man. And
yeah, that was funny as hell. Like I've seen that movie so many times. It's like a classic. I think if I had to pick one of my first ever players that I grew up watching besides my own team, I gotta say Dan Marino was one of those players I grew up watching, but I wasn't a fan of the team in general. I was like a Niner fan, so I usually admire a lot of great players. But as I got older, started watching the likes of Tony Gonzalez because of the last name in general, but he's like he was inspiring. So there's not a lot of great players, but Tony Gonzalez was the original greatest tight end there ever was before you had the likes of Grunks and others and Shannon Sharps when he became his own,
Well, Shannon Sharp was before Gonzalez.
Our time, yeah, he was before our time, but you had a lot of you had the Kellen Winslows, but they weren't guys like Tony Gonzalez who evolved more throughout the years.
When fucking Ray Finkel at the end, he's like, the laces were in. They were fucking in.
That's just funny as hell. Like, dude, I swear that movie kind of brings good classics when it comes to the part where they say "Die, Dan, die."
Yeah.
The parents.
They're watching. Ace Ventura's watching the highlight of that Super Bowl with the Dolphins and missing the kick, and he turns right. He turns right to the girl. And he's like, "It's nice to see someone who doesn't buckle under the pressure."
That's what she is.
Knowing that it's fucking her who missed the kick.
Yeah, it was her, and she just changed. And then the funny part about it, when he goes look for Ray Finkel, the mother says it's Dan Marino's fault. How could it be his fault? How could it be his fault when he didn't miss the field goal? Yeah, dude. Like
I'm looking for Ray Finkel in a clean pair of shorts.
Yeah. Oh, what the hell is a Duval? Oh, Duval is like Jaguars, I believe.
That's Jaguars.
Like Duval County, Duval. That's what they would say. Then for the rate, yeah,
that's a rough neighborhood.
Yeah, and then you got what they say about the Ravens, like flock the Ravens and all that. That's what they do. Then the Fly Eagles flies. They're kind of like the Eagles motto. So it's like. Then I always hear a lot with Washington fans, they always say "Hail to the Redskins," but now it's "Hail to the football team."
Yeah. Speaking of the Eagles, I just want to get this off my chest. You know who EDP is?
Oh God, here we go.
Everybody knows who he is.
EDP's a pedo. We know.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna tell you what is your thoughts on EDP or the guy that was exposing him? It could be Cole Raven. It could be the who was the guy that caught him? His name.
My thoughts are that no one on that video is a good person because those two guys are racist as fuck, and I'm never gonna promote that shit from two racists that are clear racist. I mean clear. And EDP, obviously no one's gonna like a pedo, and I knew a long time ago because you could tell by the things EDP said in older videos, like he joked about fucking little girls in older videos. He would talk about. I didn't like EDP when he talked about women deserve to get beaten up and raped and stuff. Like he would talk about stuff like that and would joke about it.
Oh wait,
he said his favorite players in the world are like Joe Mixon and other guys who beat women because they're men and they did what was necessary. And
he was pissed off about that draft when he didn't get Joe Mixon. He was mad as hell.
When you come from a family or you've experienced that in your own personal life, like not to get too personal, but before I was born, my mom's first husband used to abuse her before my dad came, and so I don't take that shit lightly. It's not. I don't ever take that a woman getting hit lightly. So that shit to me is not something you joke about. It's just not.
So what was your reaction when EP said to the decoy? That I was good. That like it was creepy, but in a way, like I was just like, my gosh, man, like. he was gonna handcuff her and throw her in the back of the car and take the 13-year-old decoy to his dungeon.
That was weird, dude. I mean, okay, let's get to that part. Okay, what I want to say about this part, like me and Jeff will agree that this is just, we all know he's creepy and a pedophile. He's got caught on it, but here's one thing I don't understand is that Chad Goldstein. He's a piece of shit. He's a scumbag, and they want to validate him as a hero. Well, a lot of his videos are getting exposed and viral. So he's been known to say the N-word, and he's actually asked for minors to send disgusting pictures to get the predators. Are you gonna see? I'm not even taking neither side. I'm not. I applaud for what they're doing. Yeah, I applaud for what they're doing on EDP getting exposed, but the way they're doing it, it's not the right way.
Yeah, but there's I said this to CEO, but there's worser crimes in this universe. Like, you have to look at it from a perspective of saying, what's the worst crime? Pedophilia is a worser crime than racism.
I totally disagree with that because racism caused over 400 years of slavery.
There's a different opinion there. I mean, racism is still a thing, and it still becomes an issue to the society, and they still don't accept. That's the problem with racism.
You're talking about literally thinking that someone is less human than you, or in what's the word I'm trying to say? I'm getting pissed off just thinking about this.
Less equal.
Yeah, less equal than just because of a pigmentation color of a skin. When we all know, if you believe in science, that skin pigmentation has nothing to do with brain activity, brain intelligence. That is, you are a shitty person. You are like the bottom of scum. To me, there is no difference. There really isn't. They're both shitty people. I don't sit here and take the time to talk about degrees of shitty people. Like, why would I do that? Shitty's shitty. Now, if you're talking like a pedophile compared to someone who robbed a convenience store, yeah, one is way worse because one is just robbing a convenience store. Hey, I'm trying to grab a Snickers, I stole it. I'm not going to compare. I'm not going to. Obviously, there's levels, but you're talking about racism, which literally caused 400 years of rape, torture, murder, slavery. Like, I'm not talking about black people. You can go to the Holocaust. You can go to a whole bunch of things. And even after that, you're talking Jim Crow. You're talking segregation. You're talking the Ku Klux Klan. You're talking taking black people and hanging them from a rope from a tree, lighting their bodies on fire for their families to see them. Now, you tell me a guy who does that, the clan, the lead grand wizard of the KKK, and you compare him to a pedophile, and you're saying you're actually going to sit here and say that's not as bad? Because that's what racism is. That's what racism manifests into those behaviors. A non-racist person wouldn't engage in those behaviors like that. So it's racially motivated.
So let me add. So I'm actually going to speak on that because I'm not saying, which is worse. I'm just saying what the media, the media will respond to it, because if you see childs, they don't experience, they're not allowed to experience, love. It's okay if in a way of EDP, I understand it, but I don't condone him going after an age younger people. I understand.
No one does. No one on here does. No,
yeah,
we're not pro EDP. We're not pro pedophilia. What I'm saying is everyone in that video is a piece of shit. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna applaud a guy for doing a good thing while he's a shitty person. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
So, do you know
two wrongs don't make a right is what they would say.
Yeah. If a child molester saved someone, jumped in front of one, saved someone from getting shot and took a bullet, yeah, he did a good thing, but he's still a horrible person. So I'm not going to applaud him as a person overall. That's what I'm saying. They're both shitty people, period. And I'm not gonna back anybody just because they black. I'm not gonna back EDP just because he's black. Wrong is wrong. And I've seen some people do that, not just EDP, but I've seen my own people. Someone commits a crime and they're saying, hey, free my brother, whatever, because we're black. No, I don't agree with that. Wrong is wrong. Period. I don't agree. I don't just discriminate on anything. Like, wrong is wrong. I don't care what color you are. They're both dead ass wrong. Dead ass wrong.
So the guy that exposed EDP, he's not the only person that went constantly on EDP. His name is Cold Raven. You know who he is?
Yeah.
So he's been like on EDP. Would you say he's a cloud chaser?
I don't know him enough. I just saw his one video, so I can't comment on the guy. I don't like to comment on people I don't know who they are.
So,
well, see, guys like him, I can see the difference, and I don't want to be throwing the controversial with his shit. So I don't want to be throwing the discussion, but I'll tell you like it is. Cold Raven did what he did, He was putting it out there. People didn't want to listen, so that was the only difference. But now that it's come to a point to where people are starting to believe him, there's a different argument. But a lot of people are going to say that Predator Poachers took most of the credit. There's a fine line. Okay, people are going to call Cold Raven a cloud chaser because of what he did, but I think he got to the point to where people were starting to listen. And I'm not on his side either. I'm just saying, like, there's a difference.
Yeah, but
people weren't believing Colin Kaepernick's movement until eventually it became heard. Colin Kaepernick made a stand. Nobody cared about what he did.
And here's my question. Because I don't know Cold Raven. Is he a pedophile?
Cold Raven or like
Cold Raven?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Is Cold Raven a racist?
No, he's a cloud chaser.
Okay, so I'm not even gonna put clout chaser in the same conversation as racists and pedophiles.
I think awareness is a difference. I think awareness is a different describe of what he's doing, but I see a lot of people are throwing him in the conversation with clout chasing. But I think what he was doing is awareness to where people are getting to start to listen, because people didn't care for Colin Kaepernick's movement until it became a serious matter.
Let's say he's the biggest clout chaser in the world, though. He's not a racist or a pedophile, so that doesn't mean he's not in the same league as those other two.
Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah, there's a quite difference. But I think what he was doing is awareness to where, I had to sit down and think of what his purpose was. I had to think, what's his purpose? It's kind of exactly the similar situation to what Colin Kaepernick did. And everybody called him shit. And now everybody's kind of realizing what he did was right at the time. So that's why I'm not taking sides with this problem. I know certain people don't like Cold Raven, and I don't want to take bad sides with him either. So I think what he was doing was just giving people a chance. I know it got annoying. Some people got fed up with him throwing EDP's name a lot, but you look at awareness. He's aware.
Look at December. Did you see this Vegas second firing range video on Cold Raven?
I've heard about it. I've seen it.
So
yeah, but
did you know Cold Raven banned Fizz Vegas's channel? Like he literally banned his name on his channel. So right when it happened, when the Browns were playing the Ravens, when he was live streaming, Fizz Vegas sent his people over to spam his comment section with the Fizz unit mark, the chant. So after Cold Raven was seeing them, he started blocking Fizz Vegas supporters. And the reason why Fizz Vegas, had any reason on getting banned off of Cold Raven's channel is because actually Cold Raven was being called out on the EDP. One of Cold Raven's videos got like so many dislikes where he said something about EDP about an 80-year-old Roman sees my Kung. And like,
well, dude, I think he started realizing maybe it wasn't worth throwing EDP's name, but then it started coming back to him saying that he got built up. I think people start to like do what they gotta do. Dude, I'm at that point to where, dude, this topic's gonna eventually be old news, and I don't like what those predator poachers are doing. Also, so that they're no different. But I mean, you know what, dude? I think my phone's gonna get pretty low, and I'm probably gonna just charge it up a little later or something. If you guys want to do a stream maybe tomorrow or something, we can do that. It's just my phone's pretty low.
I'm gonna get going too, but I might be busy. I don't know. I'll hit you up on Twitter.
Yeah, no problem, man. But anytime, bro. Like I appreciate it, man. I was just I was wondering because I didn't want it to lead to like all these arguments with everybody else, but I guess you guys are getting it pretty good right now. So, but CEO, I think CEO will come next time. I wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure everybody had their own opinions and not argue one another like that.
Yeah, no. Hey, thank you, Butters, for your challenging conversation on Matt Ryan. I appreciate it.
Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel. It's Biological Butters.
Biological Butters.
All right.
I'm surprised your channel is not called MattRyanSucks.com.
He might as well.
He might as well. I mean, he thinks about Matt Ryan more than I do. Damn.
No, I don't think of Matt Ryan. I think of Aaron Rodgers.
He thinks of Aaron Rodgers more.
I'm the #1 Aaron Rodgers hater, dude. Please.
Oh man, you talk about a guy who chokes in NFC Championship games.
Yeah, I'm like the #1 hater, so no one will take my spot. So.
Yeah, but remember, you and CEO Top Dog made a bet. If you lose this bet, you have to have a Gold Pack Gold Butters.
I mean, it's an easy bet, so.
It had to be something he hated.
Now, Butters, you want to talk about a guy who, when he wins, he's glorified, and when he loses, they never want to blame him? Aaron Rodgers.
That's what I don't understand. Like, there's times he needs to take criticism.
He never gets blamed, even when he throws picks and everything. He never gets blamed.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I'm his #1 hater, and I criticize him. That's my.
Yeah, and the thing I don't understand is a lot of these Packer fans still defend this guy like he's glorified GOAT or something. Like I get the fact he's a great player, but there's times you need to give him some criticism.
Exactly, and if CG, go look at Aaron Rodgers' film study of why Aaron Rodgers is not to blame for the NFC Championship loss against the Buccaneers. Like, shut up with this film study crap. Like, that's why I hate film analysts that think they can break down film. Like, shut up.
Yeah, and Packer fans believe it too. That's the fun part. They believe that crap.
The NFC Championship game in 2016 versus the Falcons pregame, they said, we don't have a chance. We're going to get destroyed. Jordy Nelson is the league leader in touchdowns, blah, blah, blah. They play us. We stomped them out badly, beat them up bad. At the end of the game, the first thing the media said was Aaron Rodgers didn't have enough help.
What the?
And I'm like, what the? I'm like, yeah, it was the same exact channel I watched pregame and after. They're like, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have enough help, and it's like he never gets blamed for playing bad, never.
And plus, do you want to know what the excuse was? Like, you remember when Aaron Rodgers had an open lane to like score a touchdown against the Buccaneers and he didn't take that route?
Yeah.
If you look at the film, they're going to say, oh, look, he had like 5 Buccaneers defenders in front of him. I'm like, he still could have tried. At worst, it would have been 4th and short.
Exactly.
Well, it takes his effort, but as Rodgers got older, his ego got bigger. That's the only problem with Aaron Rodgers. Like, in his younger years, he had something else to prove. But once he got the big dollars and became a noticeable player in this league, he started being above everybody else. And a lot of his old teammates have said a lot of not so good things about him. And it's nothing to do with the fact that they're off with the Packers. It's more to do with the fact that they experience a lot of different egos with Aaron Rodgers. Like, when it comes to communication, he's not the kind of guy that you can just go practice with or get on the same page. It's more like Rodgers has a stubborn attitude.
Exactly, and that's why Danica Patrick left Rodgers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just got engaged, and I'm gonna be like, it won't be too long before they get a divorce.
Well, the last girl he dated just left him because of his attitude, and plus he wasn't he was kind of antisocial with family.
Your hate for Rodgers is how I felt about Cam Newton on the Panthers and how he had excuses for sucking so many times. Like the whole not diving on the fumble in the Super Bowl. Like people actually like were making excuses for him not diving on that football, and they said like there's no way he would have got it. As big as Cam Newton is, as many times as this man QB sneaks and runs the football and runs people over, now all of a sudden he can't dive on a fumble. That's like literally right in front of him. So
I just think Cam just completely gave up.
That's what I'm saying. Like he gave up. That like don't make excuses for him. He gave up. And they make excuses for how he misses throws all the time. They blame it on so many things. Like, no, he's just not an accurate quarterback.
I mean, Carolina fucked him up, but Super Bowl 55, like he just completely gave up on the entire team.
Yeah, definitely.
That just proves how important defenses is, bro. Like even in today's NFL, you still need a defense because if you play against the greatest offense, like let's say for example, if we were just able to capitalize on running the clock, this would have been a different story. But this is no should have, could have, would have. But there's a difference. Shanahan's play calling, dude. This guy went too cocky. Why are you playing too cute? You're making the same mistakes like when you were with the Falcons. Like, come on. That's the only downfall. I think Kansas City would have been choking twice. They wouldn't be discussing Mahomes being one of the best. They would have talked about him being a regular season stat quarterback that choked the big one. But no, he won one. So that leaves him off that discussion. Yeah.
Gridiron says, you know who I don't like? Josh Rosen and David Johnson.
But we do have Josh Rosen. Thanks for checking.
David Johnson gets hurt every 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, awesome kids in here. I'm not a biggest Kyler Murray hater, but I'm in the conversation with lots of Kyler Murray haters.
Yeah, and no problem where you're hiding, bro. Maybe next time if you have an Instagram, you can hit me up and we can discuss football about your Eagles, bro. I checked out your video lately, man. I mean, I see you as my subscriber. I've been looking at you lately on your videos. I like how you were preaching your team and all that. You know what? Maybe if you want to come on in, bro, next time I'll have you and maybe next time Jazzy will go in and maybe some other guys and we'll talk football. I like your passion about your Eagles, bro. You seem more like humble, and you were actually right on about the EDP situation. That it's like majority of your fan base are the right representative of your team in general, and you guys have every right to not defend them no more. I can respect that because I see a lot of these Philadelphia fans. They were upset, but when somebody said something about like since EDP's gone, the Eagles took a big L. Not really. There's a lot of passionate Eagles fans. Like you got the likes of Desert Eagle, who I've actually interact with. He's a very passionate Eagles fan. Lord Brunson, he's more of those kind of like his own analyst of his own rights. And then you got other Eagle fans like Nitro Freak, and I can go on with the other ones. I mean, there's Philly 500. There's so many other Eagle fans. They don't even get enough recognition. But where you're hiding, he's an under the radar guy that I'm starting to get to know about, and he's actually more passionate about the Eagles more than anybody else I've seen. Like when he says something, he really means it in the heart.
Yeah, and I'll just go say to Butters, Kyler Murray doesn't have an excuse this year. You know, they got James Conner, they got AJ Green, they still have Hopkins, Christian Kirk. So this is gonna be the year where Kyler Murray's gonna have to prove it.
I'm just making fun of Kyler. Like I make fun of Kyler because like. Let me be honest. Do you think Kyler's like overrated?
I feel like it's income. I feel like no one's rated him yet because he hasn't enough. I haven't seen enough game of him to rate him yet. I think he's rated exactly where he's supposed to be rated. I don't think people think he's the best in the league or top 5 yet, but I don't think he's trash either.
No, he's like a poor man's Russell Wilson, but he just needs more playing time. Like the way he's playing, he's been playing 2 years in the lead. I think his talent is really good. It's good enough to like get him to like, let's say if the Cardinals were to win division, he would be in the discussion for MVP, but I think it would be overrated to consider him MVP, you know? I think the talent's there.
There's this diehard Cardinals fan named Awesome Kid. Like he's this Kyler Murray, diehard fanboy. Like, bro, like if I awesome kid, it's 12 in the morning. It's past your bedtime. Way past your bedtime.
Well, I've talked with this one Cardinals fan, and he's straight up honest about his Cardinals, and I've been on his live stream on the NFC West Roundtable. He's being straightforward. Like, he doesn't think of Kyler Murray as a top 10 yet. He still thinks he still needs to prove something, and he's not even too sold on Kingsbury as the head coach. So he does support Kyler Murray, no doubt, but he's not going to be too biased about it. So you got. I mean, I don't know if you ever checked out his channel, the AZ Sports Fan.
Everybody's excuse about Kyler Murray being 6-3 and missing the playoffs. Oh, his shoulder was hurting. Like, come on, man. Because he was running around like a little toddler. Like, he was.
Yeah, he runs too much.
He even quit on his team week 17 because he was scared of Aaron Donald.
Well, my phone's getting pretty low. We could probably discuss it another time, man. It's getting low.
All right.
I know. I appreciate it, man. We could keep going on, but it's already getting pretty low, and I want to make sure that we can. I'll hit you up some other time whenever you got free time. You're more than welcome to come on in, Jeff. Butters, man, it seems like you guys are kind of getting on the same page. It was kind of like my concern because I didn't want it to lead to a debatable argument to where it gets out of line.
I don't mind having a debate in session whether the person likes me or not, but he's like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I just don't want to promote any issues with one another. I want to make sure even if you guys debate, you guys could have a good argument to where it doesn't get into a heated.
I'm a type of person where I could talk sports all the time, but I my rule is I don't get personal ever.
Yeah.
So
that's what I could agree on. See, Butters, sometimes some people may take yours the wrong way, and I know Jeff seems more outspoken and more passionate, and he's not biased like most people. He's not going to be a homer. He even said he'll be straightforward about Matt Ryan and other players. He's even criticized Devontae Freeman for his missed block. It could have been a different situation.
Should never paid his ass.
Oh yeah, Aaron Donald tossed him like a child, so that tells you a lot about him.
Don't. We'll be here another hour. We talk about you bring up Devontae Freeman. I can't stand.
All right, man. We'll definitely do. We'll discuss that one. Maybe we'll do a little Devontae Freeman rant maybe next time, man.
Don't do it because y'all got Tevin Coleman, and I'm so mad that we didn't keep Tevin.
Oh, Tevin Coleman, he's with the Jets now. He's with the damn Jets.
Kyler, awesome kid. You called Kyler Murray. You said Kyler Murray is the best quarterback in the NFL. I'm not trying to hear that. I know what you're saying, awesome kid. And by the way, guys, I have awesome kid's face.
Okay, dude. None of that, please, man. Just leave it alone. Leave awesome kid alone, man. Leave the poor kid alone.
Yeah, someone got the dirt for me.
Okay. All right, dude.
All right,
I'll catch you guys later.
All right. See ya.
All right, guys. See you.